and welcome back to Crazy But Not Dangerous. I'm Shorty Vaughn, and today we are going to be making one of my absolute favorite desserts. This is a dessert that my sister Patty would make for every celebration. It was her signature cake, and I think that it just screams freshness and spring and is delightful. So this is going to be part of my Easter celebration this year, and I'm happy to share it with you. My sister Patty was a force to be reckoned with. She was kind of our family fixer. If you had a problem, she knew the solution. She could be there in 20 minutes. She just had to find her shoes and her keys. And I miss her very much. So tonight, I'm celebrating my sister, making a terrific cake. And you know, I'm not a good baker. This is very simple. Anybody can make this cake, even me, and it will be delicious. It's pretty much foolproof. It's shorty proofed, that's for sure. All right, so let's quit chit-chatting and get down to it. I'm gonna call this an orange dreamsicle cake, and we're gonna start off with our $1.19 bargain discount barn cake mix, and I've got a yellow one. A white one would work as well. And we're just going to go ahead and add that first. No sweat. And we're also going to add one package of the jello, the orange jello. Now, if you don't care for orange, and that's not your cup of tea, they sell a lot of different kinds of jello. Pick the one that appeals to you. Raspberry would be good. Cherry. The blue one, I'm not sure what flavor that is, but it looks fun. Lemon would be really good. All of these are possibilities. But I love orange, and yep. So you just go ahead and add the orange jello to the yellow cake mix right in here, just in there. Don't need anything special. I am also going to add 1 teaspoon of orange extract. This is completely optional. It will bump up your orange flavor, but if you did not have it, don't let that prohibit you from making this dessert. Go ahead without it. You could add a little Grand Marnier. You could add a little of orange Fanta soda. I wouldn't be opposed to that. You can just go with the orange jello. It's perfectly acceptable. This just takes it up a little bit. And then pretty much we're going to follow the instructions on the back of the cake box. So I can never remember. This one calls for 1 cup of water. Except I'm going to put in 1 cup of milk. And this is going to give it the dreamsicle-like quality. I'm using whole milk. You could certainly use half and half. You could use heavy whipping cream. Whatever you got. You can just use water. It will be fine. 1 cup of, and then a half cup of oil. Oh, and you can smell it already. Oh boy, that's gonna be orangey. I like it. 1/2 cup of oil. Yay, hooray. And then it's going to need 3 eggs. I hope egg prices have come down where you're at. Where I am at in Arizona, they have come down moderately. I think they are on sale this week for $2.99 a dozen, which is pretty much half price from last month. Not as good as the 97 cents that I got them last week, but if I needed eggs, I wouldn't complain too terribly about $2.99. Maybe. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just crack my egg. Make sure I don't get any shells. I'm kind of notorious for my my cakes having shells in them. I'll tell you a terrible story. we had a dinner party, and I made this delicious, I couldn't even believe myself how good it was, coconut cake. And I mixed my batter up in the KitchenAid. Well, in my KitchenAid, I had been storing these little bottle caps for some game that the soda company was trying to put out. Anyhow, I thought I had gotten all the bottle caps, and I started putting my ingredients in there, and I whipped it all up, and I baked the whole cake, and then, God bless him, my brother-in-law, Robert, was eating his piece of cake. He's like, oh, there's something, and he coughs out, and it was one of those bottle caps, and I was absolutely mortified, and he was a good sport. He just kind of, put it on his plate, and then he kept eating his piece of cake, said it was delicious. Mortified, but, in the end, he didn't really seem to mind that much. He's a trooper, and I love him, and he was Patty's husband. And so, yeah, he's a character and a good sport, and there you go. And he always comes to family dinner, and it wouldn't be the same without him. So, there you go. We all make mistakes. Don't make that one. If you're going to save the little bottle caps, find somewhere else to store them besides, the bowl of your KitchenAid mixer. Oh, well. Everybody lived, nobody died. Okay, so we've got our 3 eggs. We've got our yellow cake mix. We've got our orange extract, our orange jello, some milk, some oil. Hot diggity, we're in. And I'm going to go ahead and just beat this. I have a new love relationship with this old friend of mine, the hand mixer. And I'm just going to put him to use. And he's excited about it. I opened that bottom drawer and I could hear him. Shorty Vaughn, you never use me anymore. Don't you love me anymore? I'm, okay, baby. And now I open the drawer and there he is, all bright and smiley. Like, me, pick me. I was a person in PE. I didn't even raise my hand to get picked. I'm just going, I know I'm going to be picked last. At everything. Hurdles. Yeah, you're not going to pick me to be in your hurdle race. I can go under. It was ridiculous. You going to bed?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're all done with our mixing. I'm going to put this milk back in the refrigerator and the eggs too before they get all wonky. Want a kiss?
Sure.
Kiss goodnight.
Good night.
Love you.
Huge love.
You better. What are you laughing about? Okay, so that's how our mixture looks. Looks pretty well incorporated. Resist the urge to overbeat it. I think that's where I sometimes go wrong. Oh, there's a little something in there. Don't put this in the sink yet, because I'm going to show you a little trick. I'm going to set that over to the side. And now I have prepared my pan, my Bundt pan. And I have very liberally buttered this. And I am confident that it is going to come out in one fell swoop and will be fantastic. I have no doubts about it. I'm keeping all positive vibes, all positive thoughts. And I know it's just going to be terrific. You could make this in any kind of pan you want. Any kind of pan. Cake pan, loaf pan. Loaf pan would be great. Then you could slice it, and have those fancy little square slices like at Starbucks. Put out a little card table in your front driveway or what have you and sell them for $4 a piece like Starbucks do. Go for it. And I'm just going to go ahead and pour this in. Lickety split, no problem. Okay. And I can tell you that the smell is just fantastic. It's really good. I'm ready to eat this. I'm ready to eat it. Now you have a couple of choices when it comes to the topping on this. You could make a cream cheese frosting and add a couple of drops of the orange extract and go ahead and put that on top, and that would be delicious. You put it in a piping bag and just kind of give yourself some waves of the cream cheese frosting if you were so inclined. We are going to do a very simple powdered sugar glaze and just drizzle this on top when it's all done, and it will be amazing. Okay, my oven is preheated to 350 degrees, pardon me, and for a Bundt pan, this is going to take 39 to 43 minutes. Well, that's very specific. So I will set my timer, and I'm going to go ahead and get this in the oven. Making sure my rack is all level and all that good things, because I've actually had a cake that came out lopsided because my rack was not level. That was bad. There have been, oh yeah, that's good. That's at 350. And then we're going to do our timer. And we'll do it for the 39 minutes because I can always check on it and make sure everything's all ready and delightful. I'm confident my cake is going to turn out well. At least I know it will not have any bottle caps in it. That's an improvement already, 1% better, right? I'm going to go ahead and get this cleaned up, and as you can see back there, I've been doing dishes all day, so I have some stuff to put away. So I'll bring you back when my cake comes out. It's going to be terrific. We're going to get them. Yay, Easter. Okay, I wanted to show you this quick little trick though. So I have rinsed out my measuring cup and added some clean water in there. And to this, I'm going to go ahead and add a squirt of dishwashing detergent. And then I'm going to take my mixer and my beaters, and I'm going to put them in here, and I'm just going to go on low. And I'm just going to go ahead and let them go in here. This water is warm. We've got the soap. I'm not letting them beat against the sides too much. And then, yeah, that's how I'm pretty effectively going to clean my beaters. And you can turn it up higher, but if you see like a lot of waves or a lot of extra bubbling up, don't let it overflow, because you don't want to create one mess while trying to clean another mess. All right. Those are pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and give them a rinse off. But yeah, that's how I clean my beaters pretty rapidly. You can do the same thing with the big whisk beater for your KitchenAid. Saves a little time, saves a little scrubbing. Gets all the nooks and crannies. Yay, Greg. My little tip today. Okay, all right, I'm coming. It's giving me the beep. Let's go ahead and take a look at it and see how, ooh, hello. That's hot. tell it's pulling away from the sides. It looks fully cooked. Smells fully cooked. Smells like cake. Got pretty good consistency here. But you know, we'll go ahead and give it a test. Give it a little test up. I've got these chopsticks from my favorite Chinese food restaurant. I'm going to use this one, save that one for another day, and I'm just going to stick it in. And it comes out clean. We are done. Bottom's all golden brown and delicious. Yay, hooray. And I'm just going to take and put this on a little wire rack so it can do a little bit of cooling and all those good things for a few minutes before we tempt fate and turn this puppy out. It's going to slide right out. I know it will. I use so much butter, you know, it's going to slide out just lickety-split. I'm positive. Take this little spoon here, or this little knife here, and I'm just going to go around the edge and see if there's any places where it may not be. Okay, no, this should have no problem coming out. But I am going to go ahead and let this set and just cool off a little bit, just for good measure. Maybe we'll go around the inside edge of the Bundt. The Bundt. And this is a really nice, thick Bundt pen. And usually for me, it works really well. So, but you know, when somebody's looking, that's when disaster will strike. It'll turn out great when I'm just here alone in the kitchen, nobody watching. It's like, what? Somebody watching you type. And you can't type for, you know, for beans. You can't type for beans because somebody's watching. But, you know, when you're just, you know, doing your regular stuff, you know, you're flying through the keyboard and everything. Somebody watches you and all of a sudden it's T-H-E. You know, not how you really do. Anyhow, so this is going to be good. This is going to be good. I'm going to get our little glaze on. Let's get our glaze on. Okay, let's see if we can do it. Let's see if we can turn it out. Will it work? Will it flop? Nobody knows. 1, 2, 3. Hot diggity. Look at that. I did it. All right. Fantastic. Okay. I am going to go ahead and set this over here. And we're just going to let that continue to cool. I'm going to try to get it just the tiniest bit more centered on here. Okay. No, I'm not going to mess with it anymore. I'm not going to tempt fate. I'm going to leave well enough alone. Gonna leave well enough alone. True story. Let's make our glaze. That sounds like fun. Okay. So we've just got like regular little bowls here. And I have powdered confectioner sugar. Running low. Gonna have to make some more. And I have a little 1/3 measuring cup here. I'm going to use a whole cup of the powdered sugar. And to that, I'm going to go ahead and add 1 teaspoon of the orange extract. You could use vanilla. Absolutely. You could go half and half. That would be delightful. But I'm going to do 1 teaspoon of the orange extract. And then I'm going to go ahead and get a little bit of water. Now this causes some debate in my family because typically the glaze calls for milk. But I'm going to store mine outside of the refrigerator, and so I'm not going to add milk. I'm sure it would be perfectly safe because honestly there's enough sugar in here to preserve almost anything. But, you know, for giggles, for safety, I'm going to go ahead and just use water. And it will make a fine glaze for this cake. You won't miss the milk at all. So don't think you don't have milk that you can't make a glaze. And I'm going to add the water to this powdered sugar orange extract mix, 1 little spoonful at a time. I don't want it too thick, nor do I want it too thin. So, yep. I can always add more. If I get it too runny, I'll have to add more powdered sugar. And that's no hardship. I mean, that's no crisis or anything, but try to get it right the first time. If it's too dry, add more water. If it's too wet, add more powdered sugar. I'm going to switch to this one now. Just put in a little bit more water. Just keep going. And I haven't decided yet if I'm going to get fussy and put this in a bag, or if I'm going to go ahead and just give it a very informal drizzle. I think I'm going to go with the informal drizzle. But you know, you could make this extra special. Get the piping bag out, load up your glaze, and make some beautiful lines across it for the holiday. I'm betting that there's even, you know, some holiday sprinkles, like little bunnies or rabbits or duckies or I don't know, whatever. I'm sure that you could find something delightful like that to sprinkle on top of the glaze. Okay, so I couldn't honestly tell you how many teaspoons. It was 1 cup of sugar, or powdered sugar, and then I'm gonna say maybe like 4 teaspoons of the water, 1 teaspoon of the orange extract. Just play with it until it comes to a point where you're happy with your result. So this is pretty thick, and I am pretty happy with that. If you wanted it thicker so that you could pipe it on, you're going to add more powdered sugar. Or put it in the refrigerator for it to solidify more. Put it in your piping bag, and then, you know, just kind of loosely lay it on a plate in the refrigerator until it is hard enough for you to pipe, hard enough consistency for you to pipe. But this has a great ribboning effect, and it is going to be just fine for my very informal glaze. It's casual, rustic. But I am not going to put this on until this fully cools down. So I've got it on my cooling rack. I'm going to put all the stuff away. I'm going to leave this out at room temperature, and I'm going to turn my overhead fan on, and it will probably be cool in about 15 or 20 minutes. We'll test it out, because I don't want my glaze to end up all in a puddle at the bottom. That's always disappointing. That makes me so sad. Still edible, still good. It just, you know, it didn't look like the picture. So, I'm going to take my time, not in a rush. I'm going to go watch some YouTube. And, yeah, that looks really good. Really nice. I'm going to slice into it, and I'm hoping that it is all orange and delicious. And it smells very orangey, so yay, hooray! Orange cake. Okay, so I decided, why not? It's Easter. So I've got this little sandwich bag. I also have this little tiny jar. I'm going to go ahead and put my sandwich bag in there, in the jar. Going to roll it down over the side of the jar. And just kind of press this in with my spatula. Got a rubber band. Save this off the asparagus. I'm going to go ahead and put that over to hold my makeshift icing bag. I like the idea of using my regular icing bag, but I honestly don't want to clean it. It's just sheer laziness. I'll be truthful. And I'm just going to go ahead and pour this in here, like glaze into the piping bag, into my makeshift sandwich bag piping bag. And it's still going to be very informal. No doubt about it. Let's grab my spatula, because I want to get all of it in there. It's already thickening up, so it's going to be really good. My cake is still cooling. And that's just fine and dandy. Yay, hooray. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pop this in the refrigerator for just a few minutes. We're almost there. Almost there. And then what I'll do is roll this up and then tie the top tightly with the rubber band. That's going to help me control the pressure from the top. It's also going to make sure that I don't squeeze it and, get my hand all messy and whatever else. So no disasters. That's my goal. No disasters. Get my scissors ready so I can cut the little tip off, and fingers crossed. Yay, hooray. It's going to be terrific. Okay, well, I think my cake is cool enough, and I think my glaze is solidified enough. I'm going to put my rubber band on here. Pretty tightly. One more time with feeling. There we go. Okay. And then I'm just going to go ahead and make a little hole here at the end of my bag. Now I'm just going to firmly squeeze from the top and just go around, giving my cake, like I said, a little informal drizzle. Just a little extra something, because it's Easter. You might as well go all out. And you can be as creative with this as you want to be. And like I said, you could frost this. You could put cream cheese frosting on. That would be delicious. Sprinkles. The kids would love that. I know a lot of adults like it too. Not personally a huge fan of the sprinkle. I don't think it adds much besides they are very festive. And, well, you know what? There's something to be said for that, and it's all on its own. So, yep, you just go ahead and glaze your cake any way you want to. It will all be good. And mine's not running too much, just enough. Okay. Pretty happy with that. I think that looks lovely. I think I could take this anywhere and they would be happy to have it on their dessert table. Maybe I might even like garnish it with a little bit of fresh mint or maybe even a few chocolate shavings because chocolate and orange goes together so well. I love that. And so, yep, there we go. There's my happy little cake. I feel very good about it. And I'm going to have it for breakfast tomorrow with a big cup of coffee. I think we should slice into it. I think we should. We'll go ahead. We'll do it. We'll do it all. We'll go ahead and slice a piece. We'll see if it's as good as it looks. All right. Got a little plate here. And I am just going to go ahead and take a little sliver on the side. Pop that out. There we go. It is all orangey. It looks terrific. I'm super excited about it. Drizzle looks nice. Let's get a fork. Let's try it. Okay. So it's super moist on the inside. Okay. Maybe we'll have to go one more time. Just to make sure. Oh, yeah. Oh, the glaze is really good. That's going to be super good with my coffee tomorrow. Anyway, happy Easter. Making orange cake. It turned out terrific. I'm so excited. Anytime I have a baking success, I'm super excited. Anyhow, be good, be careful, look both ways. Thanks for watching Crazy But Not Dangerous. Like and subscribe so we can be friends. Make an orange cake. Thank you, Patty, for a wonderful recipe. Appreciate it, as always. Again, thanks for watching Crazy But Not Dangerous. It's way more fun with you. Have a great night.